Hello and welcome back to our series on functions in Python.
In the previous video, we discussed what functions are, how to create and use them, and some of the benefits of using functions. Today, we're going to delve a little deeper into functions and look at some advanced features and best practices.
First, let's talk about function arguments.
In Python, you can specify optional and required arguments for your functions. For required arguments, we must always pass a value when calling the function.
If you don't pass an argument, an error message will be given.
For an optional argument, there will be a default value, so it is not necessary to pass a value as an argument for optional arguments unless necessary. For an example, consider a function to greet the user.
Def greet, we will use parameter as name.
And for that I will give a default value as sir or madam.
Since this is a string, we must use quotations. After that, print name.
Call the function with an argument John and again call the function without an argument.
Save and run the code to see the results.
And we can see that the default value is printed when their argument is optional. Another feature of functions in Python is the ability to pass in an unlimited number of arguments.
This is done using the asterisk symbol.
This way the function will receive a tuple of arguments, and can access the items accordingly. For an example, consider the previous function, we may have to greet an unknown number of people.
So to modify the code, I will use an asterisk symbol in front of the parameter name.
And now when calling the function I can enter any number of arguments.
The values that we enter will be stored inside a tuple under the parameter.
I will use a for loop to access the items.
For item in name, print hello and the item which will a single name.
Now call the function with a few arguments.
Save and run the code to see the results.
We can see that all the names are printed.
To access each item individually, we can use square brackets.
For example, to access only the second name, I will remove the for loop and instead of item in print statement, I will use name and number 1 inside square brackets.
Save the code and run. We can see that the second name was only printed.
In conclusion, functions are an essential part of programming in Python, and by using the features and best practices we've discussed in this video, you can write functions that are organized, reusable, and maintainable. Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for more videos on Python programming.